Did you want to fart and just...
I farted at a good one earlier, and
Actually,
boy, was it exciting! I wish I had to go because it would have been just a great way to start the show. Big
it sounds
fucking
great.
stinky fart.
The headphones sound okay.
I mean, fucking touching anything.
I was gonna say.
Other than the natural echo of the room because we're in a big area.
Yeah, it's a cleared out area too.
Yeah. If we ask you, like,
I'm not
bad.
smelling that. I don't even want to smell it. I want to see if you're smelling anything.
okay, awesome, good.
Okay.
Fuck off.
I don't know why we'd have a hard time doing a cold opener here.
I had a cold opener from 7 months ago that I was going to do when we came back. It's something that happened. I'll tell you about it if you want to hear about it.
From 7 months ago?
7 months ago.
No, I don't fucking care. How about we do the thing that cold opener has in up here in Canada, folks, if you don't live here, and then we got, 2 listeners maybe?
4.
Yes,
What's
I know.
her name listen? That young lady?
I'm not sure if she listens anymore. Anyways, we should just let you know before the main intro. We're back in the comic book shop.
We are back in the shop. Hear that hustle and bustle in the
of
background?
farting and moaning. Anyways, because of the convoys and the truckers' blockade at the Coots, is it Coots border?
Coots.
At the Coots border,
No, Coot.
well, affecting us mostly would be us. Probably, as he said earlier, Vancouver probably got their books because of the Vancouver border. I haven't anything heard about them blocking books there.
We tried the street, and there's footage of the trucks backing up because people got in front and laid down.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, Comic Books for Edmonton, the Independent and Image did not arrive. So other than not getting some other stuff, that's how it's affected us mostly right now. And damn, we are upset. Well, sort of. I don't know. Fuck. So that's about it. How's that for a cold opener? Anything else?
Well, we're back. It's been 7 months since we did a show here, eh?
Are you sure?
7 months. It was like May of last year.
Okay. I can't argue. I don't remember.
It's like the passage of time.
Passages of time?
Actually, it's good. We're going to be doing a show like, once a
month.
Yeah, once
Just
a
like a
month.
period. Come once a month. We're going to bleed all over the microphones.
That's not where I was going.
And then we're going to go. Actually, someone asked me he says, do you do a comic book show? And I said, you do pop culture? And I kind of went, okay.
Filthiest pop culture you've ever seen in your life.
Well, that's what I said to him. I said, there's 2 guys, the other guy from Brentwood, the guy that I do here, Scott. They're usually pretty nice, but I'm uncensored. I say whatever the fuck I want to say, not worried about anybody.
Pretty much.
So I said, what we basically pop culture. But he said, I think the way you phrase it, are you into pop culture? And I didn't know what to say because I kind of am and I'm kind of not now. So
Depends if I like it or not.
yeah. Hey, we're going to bleed over the mic. We can piss on it because we have Depends.
If you don't do this intro with U2's Sunday Bloody Sunday, you're missing an opportunity.
I have to edit it in there. But this is why you should see. Okay. Anyways.
I should have these awesome ideas about things we haven't talked about beforehand.
Yes. You have to go to the future, write these things down, and send me a note.
You have to go to the future.
And then you can also let me know what comic books come in and which ones are selling better. So when I go to send stuff in to CGC, I know what I can send in. It'll be worth money.
Well, it's the obscure stuff now. There's no rhyme or reason. There's so many shows that's put into TVs or movies or series or whatever. That sounded terrible. Series or whatever.
And the cereal? Is it kind of like when you reach into the box and get a prize?
I got cock mode today. Nothing's guaranteed to be a hit anymore. Fuck. What a day.
Take that cock out of your mouth and speak correctly.
I feel like I still got the training wheels on and I'm riding around the shop here.
It's not any different than you doing it from home, except you don't have a squealing pooch beside you.
Lee, can I take the wheels off now? Sure, son. Go ahead. Hit that fucking wall.
So, okay. You got your mic handy?
You know what the thing is, folks? I have new
don't
headphones. I forgot to bring my headphones, and anyone who's ever done this, there's, what's that connection called when it's a circular compared to whatever the fuck that was? You know, the connection in your headphones?
Yeah, you plug it in, the sound comes through.
Yeah, the plug-in.
Yes.
I have the...
you have the Apple bullshit one.
Yes, I brought the Apple iPhones as opposed to the generic ones.
Yeah.
So we looked at it and like, I can't put that square peg.
He
in
tried
that
to shove
round
it in
hole.
as hard as they used to, but now it
Story of
didn't.
my life.
No lube would work.
Yeah, story of my life. So I had to go buy some new ones. So I've got new headphones, and they sound like I'm in Vietnam.
Cool.
So
Are we good to go now?
I'm
I
good
can
to go.
actually play this. I don't know. This part I forget. I don't know which button I have to push. So,
Start.
Guys, I'm bringing the party to you.
you're hearing it and I'm hearing it. Let me do this. I don't hear it, just us. Oh, that's the wrong one then.
You big dummy. Oh, great Odin's Raven. Say hello to my little friend.
I stepped in a ditch last night, man. I almost pulled my balls off, man.
You take drugs, Danny? Every day. Good. So what's the problem?
Yeah, David.
Oh, we help us you fear well without.
I'm the doctor.
What's up, guys?
This aggression will not stand, man.
Engage.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cafe. This is Season 10, Episode 278.
Now, wait a minute.
What?
Is it 278?
Yes. We have some mystery ones that just fucking disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. It was 250 and the rest just went.
Imagine
gone.
if we get to like episode 400 and someone goes back and they do an expose on us.
Yeah.
Like, the missing episodes.
As long as they whip it out and show me when they're exposing themselves, I'm cool with it.
So what are we going to fill them up? I dare you to release just a blank episode. Just nothing but
How about just my farts?
yeah, fart episode.
Yeah. Anyways, we are again back in the comic book shop here in Edmonton. It has been a while. We may be doing this again more and more because eventually it looks like we're going to be able to not have to wear these fucking things. At least it sounds like within the if it's up to the place that you go to, and you don't have to require to wear a mask. I know that Lee for sure will not have it required to wear it inside.
Okay.
So, I'd be very surprised if he says you have to wear one.
You know one thing I noticed since we've been back in the shop, and I noticed when I walked in today, and I've really noticed it since sitting here. This shop has changed a lot in 7 months. I feel like I'm recording from a different shop. I think part of it's the lighting.
Oh yeah, he put more light bulbs on, so it looks like
There's more light in here. It doesn't feel like a speakeasy now.
at a time when the electricity has been jacked up almost by 50%.
Yeah.
So his bill's going to be pretty big.
Yeah.
You might turn some of those lights off again.
But it's like it's different. It's a totally different feel than we were doing the last time.
Other than being bright, I mean, it's still the same. It just, you come into this comic book shop, except for a couple things where some shops will have like tons of shirts hanging all over, or they have a bunch of statues that they've cracked open and open them. He does have some on the top shelf, but I don't know. We're biased. It's one of the better shops in town.
I mean, it is. As far as organization, I think he's got a bit of the OCD. It's the most well laid out, organized shop in town, except for the guys who get their shop out of a catalog, where they just order one of everything.
Yeah.
But they're not. I don't really count that as real comic stores, to be honest. So.
But we're back in here. It's season 10. If you've been catching up, you already know it's season 10, 278. But the other big news is they're big in the shop, and I got my hands on all the stuff that I used to have before.
I'll bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
I haven't had that kind of stuff in a while.
Classic.
So I really You sort of got it organized just simply how you wrote stuff down. You got mostly reviews and shit, don't you?
Reviews. I didn't really look at the news. I figured we'd pop on Feedly. I haven't been reading the news at all.
Well, I've got news I've been writing down that we can talk about before we do the reviews.
Sure. Let's go.
So it's... and I've got 4 books to talk about. Anyways, so we got the Truckers Blockade out of the way, so we're done with those fuckers. That's more of a movie review. Obi-Wan was the information was dropped about that. It's going to play on the 21st
The
May. No, it premieres on Disney Plus May 24th.
Yeah.
The series. That most of these things I wrote down are just highlights you can just shoot and chat to shit about. I'm looking forward to that. Actually, again, looking forward tonight to go home and watching whatever episode number it is of
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
I haven't watched it yet.
Simply because I want to see how they've gone from basically 2 Mandalorian stories to back to Boba Fett.
Well, I heard and I saw the footage of, bit of a spoiler alert, Mr. Skywalker.
Oh yeah,
he looks better in this one than he did in The Mandalorian, and that was like a year ago.
The reason that's happened because there was a small independent company. You heard about that?
I saw
he did
the
a way better job than they did.
They hired him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks better. Luke is he has no fire to him. And I mean that it's not the actor's fault or whatever. Like what I'm saying is they've taken him and he's like a fucking 60s guru. Dude, we're going to learn how to do the Force, okay? So, like, do this, and then I'm just going to stop talking. Then take your hand, dude, and wave it in the air. See? Look what I can do. I get all the frogs out. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's very late. He has no fire in him at all.
I don't remember even in the movie. Well, he was emotional. He's kind of a whiny little bitch in the first 2. You know, he was like, my father.
You go look at it. You go back after time, and he was whiny. You can understand how he got whiny because Anakin was a whiny little cunt.
Yeah.
So he is. But what I'm saying is...
For C-bomb, folks.
I just don't... He's just too mellow. I don't know. He doesn't have to be swearing and throwing around, but have a little bit more life than, fucking rabbi... Jedi masters from the 60s smoking dope. I mean, he probably put one of those frogs he lifted up. He could have probably licked it. Dude, this is some good frog, man.
How's the voice? Does he sound like Luke?
I think it's Mark Hamill. Actually doing the voice.
It is Mark Hamill. What they did was they said they took language from previous...
Why not just have him get in the fucking studio and do whatever... There's a special term for it.
I suspect... When the internet got broken, when he did the appearance before, they went back to Mr. Hamill. Mr. Hamill said, "Money, please," and they said Disney said no. But they did use that footage from previous recordings.
Okay.
Yeah, I did read that.
So, anyways, what the fuck was doing that? So that's the rest of seeing that. Futurama is coming back to Hulu.
Doesn't surprise me. They're rebooting everything.
But I'm looking forward to that. The only thing is that if it's on Hulu, which means it might be on Stars up here in Canada, or just Disney Plus, depending on how they do it with. Because we are international, even though we're getting bent over fuck from the United States mostly a lot of times. That's just my personal comment. I don't like living in the United States. I wish we lived in England. Yes, Paul, I wish I lived in England. You know why? Because you guys even have a sense of your own fucking identity. Here, we have a Canada with a little bit of... with the Americans stuck up our ass. Personal comment.
But the rulers are a 98-year-old woman and a small baby.
They don't fucking listen to them.
They do so. They die. They'll kill them.
They'll kill the queen?
No, the queen will kill them.
Oh. Okay. And then, so that's coming. I'm looking forward to it. And it sounds like some of the main characters are coming back, the voice actors, which, if they're still healthy, I don't see why not.
There's a lot of money in animation now.
Well, I mean, the voice actors, it's good business if you can get it.
Yep.
Jack Reacher. Have you watched any of Jack Reacher?
I'm gonna watch the first episode of this week.
Oh, you're gonna get hooked.
It would explain where he went in Titans, though.
Oh yeah,
he was done.
I'm glad he's out of that
Yeah.
show. I am.
He's even when he was when I was watching Titans. That's when I said, "Oh wow, they look like fucking superheroes."
Yeah.
He was basically an action.
You want to
figure.
see a difference in this guy? Go back to watch Smallville when he was in the show.
Yes,
He
yeah.
played Aquaman.
Yeah.
He was nowhere that fucking big.
Well, I guess there's in that new series. There's a bunch of alumni from Smallville actually in it.
All
Lana Lang.
She showed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, you got a piss over there? You're hopping up and down on one leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just shit myself. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
Good to know.
shaking it around so it goes down one leg.
That's called breaking news, right
Yeah.
there.
Breaking
He shit
wind.
himself.
So yeah. Actually, I can see what happened to him in Titans because he got that other show, and it's
Yeah.
I really enjoy this guy. He was good in that Titans, but in this he's fucking awesome.
People were pissed when they cast Tom Cruise in that part. Like, fans of the books were like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is like 5'10". This guy's 6'5".
I think he's like 5'10". I think he's shorter than that. I think he's like 5'5".
Oh, Tom Cruise?
Yeah. He's a midget.
He's a witch, too, so
Oh.
I'm not going to fuck with him
He's
too
got
much.
magical shoes.
Yeah. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. It's a different planet.
Yep.
But, yeah, when I saw the trailer, I said, that's going to be a hit. But you know what? It's new. Those macho type series really are not around anymore. That's why I think Yellowstone's as popular as it is. And I think the worm's starting to turn where you can have that kind of stuff. And I think it's great. I'm looking forward to watching it. So you're highly recommending it, eh?
I sat down, watched. I had plans to watch one episode, go upstairs, work on the blog, read a couple comic books, whatever. And I got done the first episode, and I looked at fuck it, I'm doing another one. I had to stop it, too, because I needed to get some stuff done for today.
Wow.
I really enjoyed it that much.
10 episodes?
I think it's 8. I'm not sure. Let me look at them. What's 1.7 meters?
1.7 meters?
Meters.
Meters.
I said 1.7 meters.
Meters?
And you said meters.
No, I said meters.
Okay.
1.7 meters, that is, was there 12 inches in a foot?
5'7". See ya.
Later, man.
Bye. We're just arguing about Tom Cruise and how short he is.
It's 5'5".
He's 5'7".
What? That's my shoes.
He wears lifts, too.
And yes, he does.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him on
On
he's
a
acting
rock?
with a leading lady?
Yeah.
He has to
if you look
stand
her
up.
She's actually taller. They always put him on a box.
Nicole Kidman.
Always. Yeah.
They used to do that. He used to have, like, Kiss platform shoes whenever they
you
used
guys
it.
are pissed off that he was Reacher?
That's what we were talking
That's
about.
what we were talking about, yeah.
6'8" guy. And
Yeah.
No,
Where I was just mentioning that the TV show. If you have Prime and you enjoy Jack Reacher, that show on Prime is fucking good.
Yeah, a friend of mine's watching it. She said it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, it is.
He's a big bastard, too.
Oh, he's a big man. Very good, though. Very good in the role.
That's good.
Highly recommend it.
Perfect. Thank you.
So, all right, see ya.
See ya.
So I watched that. I gotta try. I gotta force myself not to stream through it. I could just go whipping through it.
Don't eat it all once. I never
I know.
do now.
It's big and yummy, but I want to eat it all up. So, and then the other thing I wanted to bring up, and this, I was going to say this for Paul, but it's just I have a
Paul?
commentator. You know, that guy from Ingerin.
Oh, right.
Ingerin. You know where he says if he doesn't listen to the Queen, he gets shot?
He's related to Boris Johnson. I didn't know that.
Borgen Johnson?
Borgen Johnson. Fuck.
A Swedish Borgen Johnson.
The Bergen, Boris Johnson. That's fact. That is fact. I looked on what's that? Anthology.com or
Yeah.
Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
There was him and Paul right next to each
Oh,
other.
okay.
It's fucking crazy.
So one of those Paul punch him in the throat because Paul they've got their utility bills hiked up by 51%.
He held a fucking party the day after I remember that
I saw
picture.
the Queen sitting by herself.
All by herself, and they're fucking partying.
Yeah.
I put a thing on Twitter. I said, the ghost of Diana passed.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck out of tunnel, son. Jesus Christ. You were doing what?
Yeah.
Like, that's That's a stupid thing to do.
Well, he just sounds like he's just like Trump, not that bright.
Yeah.
So he's got the
Same
fucking
here.
hair for it.
Yeah, it's got that like a Muppet. It's
Yeah.
basically a human Muppet.
Electric shock up the ass all day long.
We'd like the cattle prod you, sir.
So, anyways, I wanted to bring this up. Peter Dinklage, and being upset about Disney wanting to do 7 White and the Snow Dwarfs
We're
again.
never gonna do that.
But the thing is, Dink doesn't. I don't think he fucking. He's just mad because there were short people in it.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch that movie, there is nothing bad about the 7 Dwarfs.
Well, they're cokeheads, but other than that,
I mean, dopey. I mean, who knows what's going on with him?
narcolepsy.
I mean, and sneezy and
Coke.
whatever. But anyway, but they're represented it very well in that cartoon.
Yeah.
There are 7 guys that took in some bitch that got lost to keep her safe.
They fucked her in the other movie.
Oh yeah, well I was going to bring that up, but but anyways.
So good to be back on the airwaves.
So and then they, even though they kind of lost,
Yeah,
they risked their lives to go safer.
I know.
Right? They did everything that a normal person would do. And the only reason we knew they were dwarfs because they're short, and they fucking said it in the title. They did nothing wrong to represent dwarfs, and I'm pretty sure an update version would even make it even more positive. And so he needs to shut the fuck up for once, and then realize that there's no way that if they do the 7 dwarfs, are they going to make them look stupid or
No.
whatever?
No,
So
not even
take the chance, or not take do the movie. Hire the people I don't know the proper term anymore, but
little people. I think
little
that-
people, because I've heard from rumors that there's a lot of little people who are telling them shut the fuck up. We need work.
Yeah, I mean the guy that used to play on the WWE, Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Said, "What the fuck are you doing? I'm a struggling actor. You've already made it."
Yeah.
And people also pointed out that he played an elf in Elf when Will Ferrell.
Well, he
movie.
played a small businessman.
Sorry,
They called him
he
Al.
well, he was like he went along with the script
Yeah.
where Will Ferrell saying, "You must be from the North Pole," and he just did it.
So he's, I would. It's just another Hollywood bending over to some fucker. I would just say, listen, Pete,
Yeah.
little dink, we're going to take this movie, we're going to do a movie, and we're going to represent little people even more positively than we did in the cartoon, to show that they're just as capable to do anything that you are, or we can, regular sized people can. So go in your little fucking corner, go buy yourself a nice little lunch with all the fucking money you got, and fuck off.
I think he was picked on a lot. He said he was.
Don't
picked
give
on
a
when he
fuck
was
if
kid.
he was picked on. I got picked on. You get picked on. Kids are vicious little fucking animals.
They are.
So what's the difference because he got picked on and suddenly he's a big fucking movie star, and then he can go around saying, "Oh, you should make this movie because I got picked on when I was little."
It was just raw emotion. He was just. I think it was actually. They may have taken it out of context. Interviewers do that sometimes, where they'll just switch the words around so it sounds like completely something different than he had.
Well, he was
originally
on.
planned on.
He was on Mark Maron. It might be one of the places he might have brought it up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to listen to that interview, and then politely send Mark a thing. This is not mad at you, Mark, but Peter can shut the fuck up.
Peter's got a lovely wife.
I don't give a fuck if he's got a fucking dog he's humping. Just shut the fuck up.
Today's episode of the Pop Culture Cafe is brought to you by.
And this is where Scott and Paul would politely would just keep quiet, and nothing. They would say anything up.
No, I'm not saying I disagree with you.
I'm not saying that. I am more vocal and more explicit with what my thoughts are. You kind of keep it nice and mellow. And I'm not saying that's wrong. It's a good counterbalance
I'm
between
Ed
me
McMahon.
going off that fucking...
I'm Ed McMahon. You're cursing right now. You're going off on a rant, and I'm just listening. Hi-oh!
That's a good one, Johnny.
That's a good one, Johnny.
So, anyways, that
What
was
next?
basically news stuff that I had.
Was that
I
the
wrote
new
down
stuff you
quite-
had?
Yeah, I didn't write down a lot. I mean, there's all kinds of shit that's happening that...
I never
Kinda
watched those
interesting.
trailers. We're going to do that for the other show.
Yeah, you need to make sure you watch those. I mean, well, it's kind of good you didn't, because I wasn't prepared to do those.
Well, then.
So, And as you wrote earlier, you said I had a bunch of shit, so I was just going to play the Kevin Smith to your Mark Bernard. And
I don't want to be Mark Bernard. I want to be the tall, skinny guy that smokes weed all the time. What's his name?
Jay?
Jay, man. Jesus Christ.
Snooch to the mooch.
Snooch to the moose.
Mooch. No moose.
I got a bunch of movie reviews.
I haven't got a movie review, too.
Okay.
You want me to start mine? 'Cause then I only have this one little thing here to talk about. Mine's one review. You got a shitload. Can I do my one?
Fill your
I mean,
boots.
I've been going around just ripping off and lipping its bum.
How much would one of these cost?
How much would one of these cost? I couldn't remember.
Because this fucking...
You can't keep it up, right?
I can't keep it up. And it's stripped because it's never going to work unless I want to bring in a set of...
Well, let me try and fix it first.
Okay.
Okay, because, I work on that kind of shit. So I'll try and... So we'll see what we can do for you.
I feel like Eddie Vedder at a Pearl Jam concert. You can take
He keeps having to play with his mic?
All right. There we go.
So, yeah, for now.
For sure,
mine
Jared.
is... I down... I... No.
What'd you get down on?
Shop. I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife. The new one?
Oh, fuck. I can do a review of that. I watched that, too. I
Did you?
forgot to write it down. Yeah.
Well, great, because I'm not going to get heavy into my reviews. Mine are very simple. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. It did what it was meant to do. It entertained me.
Yep.
Even brought me a little bit of misty-eyed when they brought...
Wasn't that a great scene at the end?
I got
that
misty-eyed. I mean, I don't know who that act... With the effect and everything, he looks so much like Harold.
It's all CGI. That was all CGI. Look at Luke Skywalker.
Well,
it was all CGI.
I never gave any. I thought they would bring in an actor.
Nope.
And then CGI.
It's all CGI. It's amazing. It was like
holy fuck.
When the way they shot it with the camera, where they pan the camera, and all of a sudden his hand gets put on the. I guarantee you, every dad said, "Me and my daughter are gonna watch that someday."
So I was like, "Fuck." That really hit me because I watch Harold on CTV days and stuff like that. So
very well done.
Very well done. The little actress that put very good.
Really good.
Really good. Yep. I saw a picture of her. Without that, she's not brunette. Is it not brunette? Black hair. That's not her natural color.
Okay.
Long hair, and I thought that was a fucking adult.
Wow.
That's her, she looked, but she's not. And
it's like 15, 16.
I'm not sure if that's it, but anyways, very good. Wolfgang Muffelfalf or whatever he is, he's okay. I don't see how people can find that guy attractive. I'm sure someone that's a woman find that guy attractive.
Oh, Wolfgang, the kids from
brother.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
What?
Him attractive? Man, you gotta blow fucking standards.
So you know what's... There's a thing, and I'm going to segue into something. There's this thing with lanky guys. The guy that's with Kim Kardashian.
Peter Davidson?
Peter Davidson. The tall, lanky
stupid looking?
I call it the Tommy Lee effect, and I mentioned the thing. It's Tommy Lee. It's the Tommy Lee effect. All guys like that have big hogs, so I've heard. It's funny, because I actually put that on Twitter one day. They were talking about Pete Davidson, and I said, like, that's the thing. If they're lanky, tall, big feet, it's the Tommy Lee effect. They've got a big hog, and you wouldn't believe the amount of likes I got on it. Like, that's right. So when I see that Wolfgang kid and he's lanky like that, I'm thinking, they're all thinking, big hog.
Okay. So, Paul Rudd's Paul Rudd. He's always fun to watch.
Yeah, it's...
And I can't remember the name of the lead actress who played the mom. I'd never seen her before personally.
She's a good actress, though.
She's a good actress,
Good actress, yeah.
At first, when I saw them doing the rehash of the dog thing, I was kind of disappointed. But I understand what they were going with it.
No way they were going to pull out. I was just waiting for a take on, so, she's a dog. But I said to myself, there's no way they're going there.
Yeah. And the little kid, her friend, great natural little guy.
Yeah.
I just thought some of the stuff he said, so yeah, Mr. Harris is trying to, how do you put it? Bang Your Mom or something.
Bang Your. He's like a Rick Moranis. He was a Rick Moranis character. Which, go ahead, finish your thing.
Oh no, I mean, other than that, I mean, I really it's a movie I found and I'm going to keep because I really enjoyed watching it.
I've watched it. I'm going to watch it again, but it's funny. The memories of me in that. It's 1984. I saw it in the movie theater. My grandmother was in the hospital at the time, so I watched it, and I remember going and waiting in the car when my mom was in talking to my grandma. So when I make that association, and every time I think Ghostbusters, it's warm and fuzzy, and when I saw that scene. Wilhelm Ramis putting his hand on that Proton pack, and then Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, all
and
like
Ernie Hudson. Yeah.
Ernie Hudson. I was like, it was funny. I got a little verklempt myself. I didn't mind Gozar the Gozerian. I was kind of hoping. The only thing I can say about it, I was kind of hoping that a biggie like that. They would have left to the second movie. They would have dropped some hints, but maybe they just wanted to move on. I think this was a passing of the torch. Although it looks like Ernie Hudson is going to be from the post credit. They're setting up in New York, so he may be part of the next one.
Was there two or just one?
There's two.
Oh shit! Really?
You didn't see the second one?
I saw the one with Sigourney, but I didn't see the second one.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson shows up at the fire station in New York.
Oh yeah.
So I think he's going to be in the next one. But I love that scene between Sigourney and Bill Murray. I was thinking to myself, if that's foreshadowing, that's pretty cool. And I don't know why she wouldn't, because they're gonna offer her a ton of money, and they look like they were having fun. But there was a few. It's shot here in Alberta. We should mention it's shot like 200 kilometers that way.
The station's in Calgary.
Yeah, and Susan was actually, when they were doing different shots, she was like, that's there. It was kind of cool to see that, because we've been through a few of the small towns that they shot that bridge. She's like, that bridge is down. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, cool. So it had a great atmosphere. It had a ghost story atmosphere.
Well, it's a good thing for me to do this summer when I'm in the van. Go travel to the spots where you find where the Goosebusters were. But
I don't think there's much I would have changed about it. It was it was really cool. There was a lot of neat homages that they made. There's not much I would have changed about it, to be honest. It was really good.
I didn't see anything. I just enjoyed it. Yeah. So I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
So, all right, now we can do a bunch of your shit.
Eternals. I watched the Eternals. I'm going to start with the good first. Start on a positive note. Great cinematography. Shot very well. I liked the scene transition, and I mean, it was good background. Decent looking CGI. Susan notices, actually. There was a scene, if you remember, when they're in the little village.
Yes.
And one of those creatures was jumping roof to roof.
Yes.
Susan noticed it. She made me stop it, rewind it, freeze frame it, and she pulled up her phone. It's Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. The black dragon? The head is exactly like that. And she's like, one's DreamWorks and the other's Disney. How did that get through?
Yeah.
So she said, so if you have access to the copy, when they're jumping across the roof, freeze frame it, go to the head, it looks exactly like Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
Wow.
The smoothness of the head. Yeah. And I was like, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, wow, I can't believe Disney got away with that. But it's moving so fast.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized
someone's going to hear that from Disney.
Susan's a cinema ninja.
When the ones listening getting ready to sue us or something, I might say, they're going to hear that, and they're going to go, and we should be getting fucking money for it. Yes.
They have money. They made money.
Yep.
But I was like, she's a cinema ninja. Like, I was like, how did you see that? She said, I've watched the movie so many times that when I see those frames, it's just, oh my God, they stole that. So,
segue real quick while I think of it. There's the same thing happening with a comic book. You hear about that? Someone's plagiarism in a comic book?
They do that a lot.
But this looks like they traced it almost, like traced the thing.
Yeah.
It's so dead on.
Yeah, I've seen. Who were they talking about?
I'll have to go back, but I just thought maybe you might have heard of it. But I'll have to go.
I've heard of it. I didn't hear about the latest controversy. There have been some that have called out big name artists that they're like, wait a minute. They'll literally put the panels side by side. It's kind of a gotcha that they know in comic.
Well, that's what it is. They show panels.
Yeah.
And other than some small variations,
it's
exactly the same picture.
You lose a lot of work by doing stuff like that. It's too big of a story for 2.5 hours. I'm curious your thoughts if you disagree or agree with someone. It was too big of a story for 2.5 hours.
I thought it needed what I thought it needed to be trimmed. There's some of it I thought was very boring and unnecessary.
It was boring.
And
that's another thing.
It was needed to be trimmed. And maybe if trim it down and maybe somehow get to the next movie, because they are doing it. They are. They're going to do it because it's part of their thing. They're willing to lose what money they lost.
They must be
on
willing to lose money because it had a budget of $200 million. That's just for the cast and to do the movie.
Yeah.
It only made $398 million worldwide.
Yeah.
That's without marketing. They made, I would suspect at the end of the day, they may have made $50 to $100 million, but not near what they thought they were going to do with it. There wasn't a lot of chemistry between the cast. I found it's funny. Even the ones that were seemingly in a romantic relationship, it's like they're kissing their brother. It was so weird.
For some reason, I thought there was nothing coming from Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
It just seemed very phoned in.
Yeah.
The lead who looks like a good James Bond was not very all that entertaining to me. What's
Sprite?
No, Sprite was fine. I had no problem with her. The guy, the
Gilgamesh,
the guy that made stuff, or the guy that had the arm.
Oh, the maker. The
maker was fine. The guy that was kind of like what's her name's protector,
Gilgamesh.
He was fine. I was not disappointed or not yay or nay. I was kind of okay. That's fine with
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, so I made a tit sign.
I thought her acting was very wooden.
It's like it wasn't great.
Yeah,
but it wasn't as bad as Selma's. I thought Selma's was worse.
Yeah.
And the lead actor was just like I said, I think I already said that. He was
Icarus.
He was like, okay.
So that's why they killed you in Game of Thrones. It was fun, the good acting.
So, I mean, up to that point, I was kind of leaning towards hoping maybe he'd get James Bond. But after that performance, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
The jokes. They did little, and the example that came to my mind was...
I didn't think jokes were.
Exactly, yeah. They didn't register at all. But when they were making fun of Captain America cursing, Robert Downey Jr., it was a good joke.
Mm-hmm.
For a movie that doesn't have a lot of jokes in it, it landed because of Robert Downey Jr.'s delivery. Mm-hmm. They tried little jokes in this, and not one of them landed. They had a little weird thing where Icarus and the other guy traded pieces of whatever they were playing with, and it was just weird. It was every joke they tried, none of them landed, and it took you right out of the scene because you're thinking that was. I turned to Susan, what was that? That was so dumb. Why did they do that? The humor that they tried didn't work at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I can't. The comedian, his job, his actor. I totally forgot about.
Yeah,
I totally didn't because I was like, all right.
He's a comedian. I was expecting. That's where I was expecting the comic relief to come from, and it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
Just wasn't there. But I bet you if you talk to each and every one of them, a lot of them weren't comic fans growing up, and a lot of the crew from that first one, Nick Fury, Robert Jr., they're all comic geeks.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I don't.
I know Nick Fury was for sure.
You mean Jackson?
Sam Jackson? Yeah.
This one I would have to say 100%.
Yeah. This was a Shakespeare crew.
Yeah. I don't see any of them. If I would be, unless I'm going to sit across from them and grill them on certain things, if I saw them on an interview and said, "Oh yeah, I really enjoyed this," I would not believe them.
No, me neither. Made me less excited to see the Black Knight. They
didn't really do anything to make you want to see him.
No, well, and some of the stuff, the scene where the two girls jumped up and went over the ledge, that hokey joke where he went to step up, and he's like, "I'm not doing that." It was just weird.
Yeah.
It was like, even if he didn't have the sword yet, there's got to be that noble sense within him.
He also didn't know his background either at that point.
Yeah.
He didn't know anything about his background, so it wasn't. I can let them get away with that, because it wasn't until the end that he finally realized his ancestry, who he really was. Maybe if he had known that at the time, he would have maybe.
Was that in the movie? In the Eternals movie?
Yeah, he comes back and
okay.
he says, "I got something to tell you. I found out more about my family history than I didn't know."
That whole relationship, it seemed like.
Well,
when she told him she was an Eternal.
Yeah,
it was like no big deal.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, in this universe, in this MCU universe, they've seen spaceships,
Yeah.
they've seen monsters, they've seen superheroes, they've seen this. Believe me, if I was in that same situation, she said, "You're an Eternal," I said, "Oh shit!" I would have been surprised a little bit, but I wouldn't be going, "Oh my god," because it is so fucking common in the MCU.
Well, Sue also said that we were at the hour and 15-minute mark, and they were getting ready to save the world. And she said, in a nutshell, that's the problem I have with this movie. The last one, there was an anticipation where they built over 22 movies to Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, an hour and 15 minutes, the whole world's going to explode.
Yeah.
It was very rushed in that storyline point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was like right out of the gate, they're saving the world.
Yeah.
What happened to the healed deviants? Remember, they're in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
The deviant heals them all. They all go running off.
Oh, you mean changes them?
Yeah. Well, he heals them or changes them, whatever. You never see him again.
I think, well, they were healed and then sent out to fight the Eternals in that little village. So those are the ones there.
That was after that. That scene was after the fight in the village. Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe it'll show up in the next one.
Yeah, though it's the only thing I think of, because I said to Sue, I said, what happened to... Because I thought...
Because they're going to be lost, because they're like a hive, right?
Yeah.
The queen, the king got killed, so they don't know what to do.
Yeah, maybe that's a dangling line that they'll come up with afterwards.
We don't know, Joe. Fuck, I don't know. He's dead, and let's go somewhere else.
Well, that's another thing I said to Sue. I said, you could put these scenes at different parts in the movie, and it wouldn't make a difference. The editing was not good in this movie.
Yeah, it needed to be cut back for some things, but that's the most I thought.
Post scenes.
Okay, so the only one I remember is the one where we're introduced to that he's the Black Knight.
Yes.
And then we hear, at first I didn't know who it was.
Mashallah Ali.
As Blade. Which I thought was kind of I have agreed with Mark Bernard, who said it was kind of a waste. Mm-hmm. You know, you got this character and this actor, and you got us him whispering in the background.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of a waste. That I'm kind of interested in the Black Knight simply because it's a character I don't know anything about. So I'm interested to see what they do.
If you read that Avengers run from 432 to 370, sorry, from 332 to 375, with him and Cersei in it in the comics, it was a masterpiece, and I know they're not going to go anywhere near that. I'm not even sure if they're going to use any parts of it, and that's a shame. I think that's a missed opportunity, but it's a different time, and they're going in a different direction. I'm glad I didn't see it in the theater, because it was very boring in certain parts.
Okay, you got it all held
That's
up
it,
here.
yep.
Don't Look Up. I haven't watched this one. I have no really interest in watching it.
It was I was curious how Meryl Streep, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence were going to do a parody like this. I had never seen them anything like this, so that was one of the things that made me wonder, okay, what are they going to do with this? It was actually not bad. Well done. Good CGI. They take the piss out of all sides. I noticed there are certain members of Hollywood who will continually going after Trump-tastic stuff. They'll go after the conservatives and Republicans. They took the piss out of everyone. They took the piss out of podcasts, social media, and actually the writer Adam McKay was hilarious. It was all spot on. It's one of those movies, I think when you're watching it, you know it, and the fact that they amplify how stupid it is is where the humor's at.
Oh, okay.
So I like that about it. Some really great, funny dialogue and caricatures. Like, they nail a few personalities that I'm thinking, okay, you got them, and you got them really good. They look like they were having a blast doing the film. There was one story, actually, Jennifer Lawrence told it on Stephen Colbert. What they were doing when they were filming they were calling Meryl Streep the GOAT,
Oh yeah.
greatest of all time. And I guess halfway through filming, she's like, okay, I'll just go over here, the old goat. She thought that these actors were calling her an old goat the whole time, and she was okay with it. That is called humility.
Wow.
Like, she thought, she's like, no, it's the greatest of all time. She's like, oh, I thought you were calling me an old goat. So she was having a good time. Otherwise, you wouldn't put up with that shit.
Oh.
It got
What's this
nominated.
2034 asteroid?
Well, that's... I feel like I told you this before. I don't know whether I mentioned it on the show. I remember back in the day of newspapers, this was back in, like, I want to say 1998.
Mm-hmm.
They had a story in the newspaper. I remember it was in the Sunday Daily News in Halifax of an asteroid that was coming to Earth. It was going to have a close call in 2034.
Mm-hmm.
The story was in the newspaper one day, and I had the newspaper for the longest time, and it was never mentioned again. And when I see shit like this movie and all the secrecy that take place and all the cover-up, I mean, the title itself, Don't Look Up,
Yeah.
is you'll see the asteroid. So literally there's a part of this where she's campaigning, the president, Meryl Streep, saying, don't look up. They tell you to look up? Who the hell are they to tell you what to do? Don't look. Yeah, exactly. You're laughing your ass. It's funny stuff. It's funny stuff. And that's basically what it is. And that's where we're at right now is you can mass manipulate people, and they really get a good handle on it. And it's funny the way they do it, too. But when every now and then that story will pop in my mind that it just disappeared, 2034.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. They nominated it for a Best Picture at the Academy Award nominations. I don't think it deserved it. I think it got it because it took the piss out of certain members of society, and they liked that. Plus, honestly, I think a lot of the board members said, that's the last movie I saw. I think I'm going to say it was the best movie of the year.
I heard it was on Hobie. They're bitching about Dune getting Best Picture nod, and then Spider-Man not getting it.
I know. That's no love from the
old fucking
industry.
Academy. Hey, don't like these superhero movies.
That's exactly it.
They're ruining good movies.
It made too much money.
Entertaining people, these cocksuckers.
It made too much money. It had to make like $2 million, be seen by 6 people, and then it would have got its nod. Although it was a comedy, the last 20 minutes are very sobering because you see a lot of shit that you're thinking, yeah, if it goes down, that's what's going to happen. Where people will just sit and reflect, go into their living rooms, and wait to die. I think you'll enjoy it.
Bend over.
I think you'd enjoy it. Yeah, so I'd give a thumbs up to that. If you're looking for something a little different, check it out.
Maybe I will check it out now. I had no interest. Venom versus Carnage. What did you think of this lovely film?
I thought it suffered the same thing that Eternals did. Too big of a story for too short of a time period.
And fucking bad editing.
Yes, bad editing. Great CGI. I love seeing those characters on the screen together.
You know what I liked? I like a character that had been stuck in jail all her life, knows how to drive a car.
Yeah, that was... I didn't know who the actress
She
was.
must have one of those, and you show her in her jail cell. Didn't even have a TV with a PlayStation 2 that she could fucking pretend online
I
how to
didn't
drive.
get it. I think they hired the wrong actress for that. I did not get her and Woody for being two star-crossed lovers. Had no chemistry of any kind. Blood.
I don't think anybody you would have hired. It isn't the actress's fault. I think it's the script fault.
Yeah. It was the script wasn't very good either. They had a lot of talent in that movie too. That's what tells me the script really wasn't very good. No blood. Not even one of those piss-stained blood things, where it just looks like they...
Yeah.
None. This is Carnage and Venom. They can put The Walking Dead, it's you pay for the service on AMC, and you would get more
But little
gore.
Billy and Sally can sit and watch them bash in heads.
That's exactly it.
And get heads shot up on there.
But it just takes away from it. It's like, you need that in a Carnage film. People are conditioned to watch those, to read the comics, and they're thinking, this is going to be a bit of a blood fest, and none. When he was going through that prison, no blood that I saw of any kind.
Just so you know, don't worry about putting the mic up and keep him in. You're sounding pretty good.
Am I sounding pretty good?
Yeah,
All right,
so.
fuck it then.
Yeah. So I could stop fighting with it. Doesn't seem to want to do anything. So
I won't touch it until my nutsack starts bouncing against it. I get tired of the Two Stooges routine between Eddie Brock and Venom. It was okay for the first couple times, and after a while, it's like, okay, this isn't as endearing anymore. It's just stop that shit.
It's not at that point yet for me. I mean, there were times like we didn't need to. So, but
the whole thing with this Carnage's sexuality, the nightclub scene, I didn't get why that was necessary. Maybe
it's that scene was so bad. I remember him in a nightclub, but I don't remember the sexuality scene.
Well, he made a few comments, and I remember at the time reading about it and saying to myself, why did they do that? And then when I saw the comments and the reaction, I was like, oh, that's why they did that. Yeah. It felt rushed. I said it could be more than 2.5 hours. Fans would have loved it if it was a good story. I mean, it was a pretty iconic
good story, good editing, getting rid of some stuff, adding some more of I'm not like I don't push for violence in the film, but this needed that extra push to show the actual how much they're different and how Carnage is an insane killer with this thing. But
there was no tension.
Nah,
there was no tension of any kind. They could have gone into him, saying he was going to torture people. It was just basically a superhero fight with people you knew were homicidal killers.
Yeah.
And it came out really weird. I mean, it made a lot of money, and I knew it would. A lot of that money
I was surprised how much money it made.
But people were really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But still, it's another missed opportunity. I think, and there was someone who was discussing that, whose podcast I listened to. They're saying that movies today, a lot of them, they go heavy out of the gate because the attention span isn't what it used to be 30, 40 years ago. So they go heavy out of the gate, and there's no build to a lot of storylines. Yeah. And they were discussing with TV and movies, too, that they're kind of blowing their load right out of the gate because they're not sure if people are going to stick around.
He was afraid there might be a woman inside here. That's true. When he said blew their load over the place. Dude, give it up.
Never. If you guys could see what's going on right now in this shop, you would be appalled.
Yeah.
Did you see No Time to Die?
Or a Joe, or a Frank, or a Susan. You just don't have to be appalled.
Did you see No Time to Die?
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
I saw it at the theater. It's one of the ones I had to go to the theater. I enjoy James Bond.
I loved it too.
I just do. I even like it the good old sexist day when James would use women just for his pleasure to move things along.
Come in here and suck my cock for a second.
Slop. Anyways, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'm going to have to watch it again, not because I don't remember stuff, but just to get... Oh, the villain part was useless. They needed a better villain simply because he was just, I'm going to do this just because of this. And that's all. He had no...
Yeah.
There was nothing really to say, there was nothing in his background other to say, I need to do this.
Christopher Waltz, you're talking about he's in the little cage?
No, Christopher Waltz is fine. The main, Rami Malek,
Rami Malek, yeah.
His villain just was stupid.
He's got a scary face when he... Yeah.
Hang on. Let me so you understand. He would have been a great villain if they gave him a great background. He had no... Other than
dad.
he wanted...
Isn't Christopher Waltz's dad?
No.
Then I misunderstood that part of the movie. I thought that was...
No, he's not his dad.
Okay.
Christopher Waltz... I wish he would have broke out. It would have been more interesting.
Every time I saw Christopher Waltz in that cage, all I could think about was him being on Zach Galifianakis Between Two Ferns.
Yeah.
He's out there. And I can't do it justice, so I won't try, but basically, he's playing the Bond villain, and he asks, what's your process for getting in touch with us. I don't think that's any concern of yours, what I do to prepare for me. Well, I think it is my concern. And they're talking over each other for like 2 minutes. It's hilarious.
So, what we got? Yeah, Daniel Craig, very good for his last film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of an era.
Yeah.
He was probably debatable between him and Sean Connery, but he was probably the top 3 Bonds. I remember seeing.
He played a. I'll have to give this thought, but I do agree. He played He played a type of person Bond that he was. Does that make sense? Like.
Me good,
Ooh.
bad?
Ooh. But how am I
He's a
explaining?
man's man.
Yeah, and you know he didn't make excuses for who he was and what he needed to do.
I remember watching. What was the first one called? Not Quantum of Solace. Casino Royale.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching Casino Royale in the movie theater the opening weekend and thinking, "Holy shit, they're back! The glory days are back."
When men were men, and
Yeah, men were men.
Yeah.
But I mean, he just nailed it. He just nailed it. And he looked, in the suit and the walk and the strut and the whole thing.
oh,
They
you're looking
should
wrong
have
one.
retired 007. They should have. It's to me, it was like they were trying to make a point by saying 007 goes on, but with Gretzky in '99, they're just not going to do it. I thought that was weird. I thought it was kind of disrespectful to the franchise, to be honest. But it is what it is. I don't think 20 years ago they would have done that, to be honest, where they just kill Bond and pass his number on to whoever's coming down the lane.
No, but the number is the number. James Bond. I mean, it's 007, but it's James Bond 007. So,
You know how I knew when he was going to die?
how?
When she said, "I'd like to request we give him the designation of 007. I turned to Susan and said, "They're going to kill 007.
Okay, hang on a second. I gotta go play with his mic. You can keep talking while you play with yourself.
Where was I? Choreographed scenes were awesome. Like, they were so well done that after seeing some of the shitty stuff that they do after Arrow went off the air, I was sitting there saying to myself, this looks awesome. Especially the first 15, 20 minutes on that bridge. That was fantastic. Fantastic.
I was amazed how they outdo themselves.
I said, no, I said to Susan, I said, those are the type of places I want to go when I retire. Like up in the fucking mountains, I won't drive up there. I watched a video the other day of a car on one of those type of roads turning around in the road and backing his tires right up. There's no railing.
Was it a truck or a car? I think I seen the same one. It's like, holy fuck.
Yeah, this guy's like, I think it was a car, maybe it was a truck, but he's like he's just jimmying along the road, and it's like certain death, and he's just another day at the work site. I couldn't believe it. I'm watching. I said, "Is that CGI?" I watched it a couple times. Sure enough, it's real. This guy was turning around on a 200-foot cliff, basically. But I would love to go to areas like that because there's a lot of history there, and they look beautiful.
Who's this, Lasha Lynch?
Oh yeah. Well, Paloma is the actress. She's the one that was kicking ass and taking names in that gunfight.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, when I see gunfights in movies now, it's so exciting because you rarely see them anymore. They're kind of cool to watch, especially when they're choreographed very well.
They're even being rarer.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be rare because of what happened with Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
But when you see them, it's almost like action porn now. You're like, oh my god, a gunfight.
Yeah.
I loved her new updated version of a Bond girl. She was really pretty, but she could kick some ass.
Okay. I was looking at the wrong one.
Latasha Lynch. Yeah, I think they should do a 007 film and let the market decide once for all.
Okay.
Because until they do it, everyone's going to be saying, you just don't want to give it a chance. Okay, I'll give it a chance, do the film.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see a small budget movie with her in it. I love that she just played it so cool and calmly.
I didn't like her acting in Captain Marvel, and I wasn't a fan of it here. But let him do it. Let him throw everything at it and find out whether we're going in that direction or not.
Oh, okay. We're jumping around. I'm getting mixed up. I'm back to Anna de Armas.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to the one that we're getting mixed up. I agree. Again, she can take the number 007, but she's not James Bond.
Yeah.
So, as you said, make the movie, let it see what happens.
Yeah.
Now back to Anna de Maras. And what I said is that you thought she was just someone they flew in and do a thing, but she was kicking ass.
Yeah, that was great. I like that. You know, if you want to move the Bond franchise or franchise off, I mean, I would love to see her in a movie, even as part of an ensemble. She did great. her acting, her chemistry with Daniel Craig was fantastic. Great actress. I'd never seen her before, to be honest.
Well, no, she it's hard to recognize her, but she was in that she was with Daniel Craig in another movie where he played the detective. There was that and there was a murder, and he was the
the one with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, I can't remember
that. I didn't remember.
That was her that played the lead. Yeah, you're like, well,
okay,
I didn't. Yeah, so
that explains a lot.
So yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to go spend money at the theaters. It keeps popping down on you.
Keeps popping up. I got to push that thing down. God damn it.
So, but yeah, I was definitely watched the movie.
I thought it was one of the best films that I've seen since Casino Royale. It ended. It started great and it ended great, and there was nice little throwbacks to right from the first movie he did. You know. No, it keeps popping up. I'm just gonna move my hand here. There we go. That's better.
Smack his weenie down because it keeps popping up.
We are professionals. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just hit it with the fucking end of my pen like the doctor would.
Is that thing working?
Yeah, click.
Is that thing working?
All right.
Huh? Nurse, get my stapler.
Yes. We're going to staple this to his fucking belly. I got a pin nailer in a truck.
I've never had an easier time scratching my balls.
Okay. This one you're totally on your own. I'm not going to give you anything about this because I don't watch this show. Or the next, that one, or the next one, or the next one. So you're on by yourself, or all three.
All right. Ozark, season 4. There's 14 episodes in this season. They shot it together as one, I'm guessing, because of COVID. Final 7 episodes just started airing. Well written, well acted, super intense. Like, that's one thing that they have down pat is how to build tension. It's an interesting storyline. Could very much be real concerning a relationship between the cartels and the pharmaceutical industry.
Mm-hmm.
Think, Pfizer runs out of a batch that they need. Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Who else would have access to that type of product?
Oh.
So but how it happens, you're like, yeah, I could see that happen, and it wouldn't surprise me in the least if it already has. Laura Linney, Lisa Emery, who plays Darlene, and an actress by the name of Julia Garner, who plays Ruth, deserve Emmy nominations this year for the show. Just terrifying, intense acting. So well done. It's the only show that I'm thinking there's so many Emmy nominees in this show.
Enemy
nominees.
Well, at least you didn't say enema. I got 20 enema
Lisa
nominees.
Emery, and I'm saying this, I want to make sure I get this in. Lisa Emery is a 70-year-old sex pot.
Oh, yeah.
A crazy as fuck sex pot, but nonetheless a sex pot. Sex pot.
I don't know why maybe the reason I'm picking out the words that you're fucking up on is because I fuck up so much when I'm speaking.
I was just saying, it's like, I'm John tonight.
Yeah,
I'm John.
I fuck up on so much.
We are all John.
Bunch of shitheads.
I learned a lot about the inner workings of the cartels and how law enforcement may not enforce all the laws if they feel that it would be a better tribute to community if they use the cartels. But it's been, the first 7 episodes have been really, really good. I mean, I can't recommend the show enough. I've watched the first 3 seasons. Jason Bateman, his serious acting nod in this series I've seen sides of him, dramatic acting, that I never thought I'd see out of him. Really good actor. You saw a bit of it in Hancock in 2014 with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Saw a bit of it, but this blows it out of the water. The next 7 episodes are going to be dropping probably, I think they said later on this year. I'm guessing like October or November.
Yeah, they're doing a like half thing, right?
Yeah. 7 and 7.
Oh shit!
What?
That's in UK and Ireland. I wonder what's happening here. There was another Kingsman movie coming out.
Yeah.
And it's gone. Apparently, it's going right to Disney Plus in the UK and Ireland.
Why?
I don't know. I just saw the headline.
I couldn't get through the first one, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't like those movies. I
No,
do.
Didn't
So
like them. I got to the fight scene in the church, and I'm thinking, this is dumb. You know what I'm talking about?
yes, I know. I love that
didn't
movie.
Get it. Didn't get it.
Yeah.
Too progressive.
Mm.
You know what, John?
What? You got to take a piss?
You can edit this out, of course. I'm going to piss like a racehorse. I'll be
Okay.
lucky if I make it there. I may even urinate down this hallway.
Well, have fun.
You'll edit this out, right?
Well, I'm not going to follow you to piss her. I'm not going to pause it because I don't want to stop in case I forget to hit the button.
You promise me you'll edit out that I'm going to take a pee-pee?
No, that part I'm leaving in. I'm not gonna go follow you and take a
I
piss.
suspect
Mark.
there's been more
I will
cases.
edit. I probably since I don't have to work tomorrow, I can edit this and put a big long piss noise in there. So
Then
go
you-
ahead.
Then you have to do that now.
So I'm not. I'm gonna see what it is. This says
I'm going to go do some coke in the bathroom. Is that
106, and then I'm gonna put in piss noise, and then I'm just gonna walk away and leave the mic going, and maybe I'll put some of this at the end of the show so you can hear what's going on. What? Fuck off! Why you got your mask on, Lee? Take your mask off, Lee. You don't need your mask on.
Fuck you.
Son of a bitch, I dropped my headphones.
Hemorrhoids. Oh.
Okay, expect no less.
Did your parents have any children that live?
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, he came in thinking he had such great shit. And a lot of people researching this on the internet. I saw similar coffee.
Where is it? Like,
There's all that stuff up front, yeah. All the old budget stuff. I mean, for $1, there's some stuff there that's probably good stuff. Yeah. But it's nothing of any value.
these are worker coffees, eh? That one's not too bad.
Buy it.
Well, no, I'm saying.
I'm just saying, buy it. Put your money where your mouth is, sir.
Yeah. High evolutionary versus Galactus. Who's the focus right now? And it's new standard.
Buy it. Dollar. No, I don't want it. No, I don't. I've looked at this stuff.
No, let's look at it. You don't have it. Where'd you find it? Yeah, over there. A whole bunch more.
Oh, okay. No, I don't care. You know how many copies of that movie have?
You don't know for sure.
Oh, I can guess.
There's some magnets. Giant size home. He's an action star. But Anson Mount was in it. I believe that. I could say that. He must, unless he doesn't want to, they might just throw sloppy wet right in front of him because he is such a handsome fucking guy. I think that new show is going to take him to another level and really do. Strange New Worlds?
Yeah.
Okay, turn that back on. Let's give these cocksuckers a show they're looking for.
Oh, great. I blew my nose, now I'm bleeding.
That's your coke habit. We talked about that, John.
Oh, well, you know. It isn't a natural, usually started.
It's not even real cocaine. It's flour and eggs, but...
Oh, shit.
Oh. Did you say this is still live, Mike? And you didn't turn it off?
I was hoping to catch something impressive. Outtakes.
I have all the information about the Kennedy assassination.
What, 5-10 minutes right now on there, talking about my coke habit. And some being a...
Oh, Mandy, I came and you swallowed my semen.
Right there.
It's all over
There's
your
more.
face, oh, Mandy.
Mandy's a pig.
Mandy's a ditch pig.
Wow, good for Mandy.
Mandy's a good girl.
Yeah, there's about 6 minutes of gold I can put on the end.
We call that DVD extras.
Yeah. Oh, someone's horn went off.
End credit scene. All right,
We back?
we're back.
We left at... Fuck, did you talk about the blacklist?
I did not. I haven't done New Amsterdam or the
You
backlist.
had to go wee-wee.
TV reviews, folks. TV reviews. New Amsterdam.
New
I
Amsterdam.
had a problem with this show earlier on, but I said to myself, if I want to watch the show, I have to focus on the good acting and leave it at that. So that's what I've done. The last 10 episodes. They've been very progressive. I'll be very respectful. But the acting is top-notch. There was a character on there called... the actor's name was Anupam Kher. Dr. Vijay Kapoor. He's not returning. And that's a shame because he was a really good actor. What happened in real life is his wife got cancer. So he went back to India to take care of her. And they killed off the character. But the episode, the way they used writing out that character highlighted how much better the writing has gotten over the last 2 months. Really powerful dialogue. I like the way they've turned the narrative on their head. When this show first started, it's called New Amsterdam because I don't even know what his position's called, but basically a new head honcho came on, and he said, you know what? It's bullshit the way we treat patients in America. And it was very much about the American Medical Association, how you can die if you don't have enough money to fix yourself.
Just quickly, we don't have to go into it, but there's a millionaire, I can't remember his name now, but he's opened up in his own pharmacy.
Is he?
And he's only charging 15% on top of what it really costs.
Oh, his name is Cheech Marin, and that's not a real pharmacy.
Mark something. He owns
Zuckerberg?
No, fuck that guy.
Hey everyone,
COVID.
it's virtual reality.
Go look it up. But he's
for
basically the guys in Hobie's talked about. He's going to be marketing this pill that the pharmacies and the big companies, pharmaceuticals, charge $900 for.
Yeah.
He's selling it for $45.
Good for him.
And he's still making a profit.
Good for him. I suspect they will kill him, but good for him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's amazing. I
don't want to go into it a lot. But
okay, I love people in the U.S., but some of the stuff that they swallow is insane.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. But the story itself was when they started the show, they were going to be looking at the injustices in the American Medical Society and how he's going to change it.
Yeah.
They've kind of flipped the script in the last 10 episodes with the help of a very talented actress named Michelle Forbes. Now, of course, do you remember Admiral Helena Kane of BSG?
Yep.
Brilliant actress.
She was on Star Trek for a while.
Yes, brilliant actress. And she plays a mean bitch. And on this show, she plays a mean, nasty, and it's like she's not even nasty. She's just ruthless. Mm-hmm. And she plays the part so well. She plays the new president of the hospital. Mm. And she's like, okay, we need to cut corners here. We need to cut corners here. Basically what happens every day to Americans and some Canadians too.
You die.
Yeah, you die. And it's for profit. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Stuff like, you could take this treatment, but this treatment's going to make us more money, so we're going to suggest that one. Just stuff like that.
Dry throat, folks. That's all it is.
Very gross stuff
Need
like
some
that.
Talk syrup.
The final scene of last week was amazing.
Yeah.
And it reminded me so much of BSG when her and Adamo were doing scenes together.
Yeah.
Just sitting around a table, just dialogue back and forth.
Yeah.
It was one of the best scenes I've seen of the series in 2 years. And it was very much, I call it the Judas scene, where you're thinking something's going to happen, and then boom, another character just drops a bomb, and you're thinking, Susan and I never saw it coming. We never saw it coming. There was such a great misdirect that I was thinking, okay, I'm back in this show. The cast is great. They had to cut some of the cast, but they did it with such an ingenious way. They got rid of some of the supporting actors, but the storyline reason was fantastic. You hated to see him go, but again, it was like one of those things that, you know what? That's life. You've been here for X amount of years, but sorry, we have to make budget cuts. You need to go.
Yeah.
So it's really good in that aspect. They've kind of flipped the script where it's not kumbaya every week where problems are getting solved. It's like, okay, no, you can't do this, and this is why you can't do it, and this is why you can't, because we're trying to make money here. So it's good in that aspect of it. Blacklist. I never thought I'd say this, but the show. Did you ever watch the Blacklist?
No.
Okay. The show is carrying on nicely without Megan Boone. She was kind of his daughter, basically.
Yeah, okay, all right.
His daughter, basically. the most fascinating mystery of the whole thing is no one knows why she left the show. There was no announcement she was leaving. There was no reason given. She just left the show. And that to me is, I think, James Spader's old school. Like when, for instance, when when Norm Macdonald passed away, or when Black Panther passed away. It's kept so close. You're never going to hear why this actress left the show. But everyone has their own storylines now. For like 6 or 7 years, they focused so much on Reddington and his daughter, there was no oxygen for the other characters. And now they've kind of given all of them their own storylines. Some of them are pretty good. Dembe.
Keep talking, I gotta get a drink of water.
Sure. Dembe, which is, of course, Raymond Reddington's right-hand man. He has a very interesting storyline this year. You get to see sides of him that you've never seen before. They're really fleshing out, I guess a fresh fleshing out of Donald Ressler's character, which you really only got to see that G-Man side of him, but they're actually going more in depth, especially after the death of Megan Boone's character. And they're doing a very good job of it. I'm not a fan of Laura Soon's accent. She plays Alina. I've never been a fan of any of her storylines. I kind of wish they would write her out, but I don't think they're going to. James Spader seems very rejuvenated in the role. I think there's another 2 years. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing another 2 years, but there's always the option for another year. I know the reason he signed on for a TV series originally was that he wanted to be home with the kids, so to speak, so they gave him a lot of money to do the series. I was hoping they would cancel it in the next year, but the writing's getting better, so if they want to do another 2-3 years and James Spader's willing to sign on for another 2-3 years, I'd watch it. No problem at all. How you feel? Better?
Yeah, it was just after...
Did you go yodel? Yodel?
Deep throat, and
good.
Got that tickle out of my throat.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So that was the end of the blacklist.
Oh, okay. That sounded good.
It was. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Okay, comic reviews. I actually have my comic reviews. They're not, big things. Detailed.
Detail-orientated?
Detailed as yours.
Detail-orientated?
Yeah. Actually, there's the first one I got is Daredevil Woman Without Fear. It was all right. I enjoyed it. The artwork wasn't that bad.
I got it. The first one, I liked it.
I didn't write down the artist and shit like that. I'm the basic bare bones reviewer. It's I do want to read. I have the second one. Haven't read it yet.
Fuck.
Diamond didn't come in.
And
You got no independence.
what else? The only thing I have written here is I have not followed the Marvel books in a long time and know very little about Kraven, but I thought he was dead. But again, like comic books, no one stays dead.
Basically, that Daredevil Woman with Fear is kind of a lead out from the ongoing storyline called Devil's Reign, where the Kingpin has outlawed all superheroes, and that was a spin-off of that.
Okay, so I have Devil's Reign. I know it's only a short series, so I'm waiting.
6 issues.
So I'm waiting for get them all. Then I'm going to read them at once.
Yeah.
So, but what in the lore of Kraven is he come back magically?
Dead. The Last Hunt was that iconic storyline from about 20 years ago, but I don't know how he came back. Okay. I do know that they are going to. They had talked about that he had already been cast to do a movie for Sony. The character had already been cast.
Yes. That reminds me of another news headline that I heard, which was Kurt Russell has been cast in that movie to play along Aaron Taylor, who played Kick-Ass. That's what I remember. He was also in the Marvel movies. He played the...
I'm trying to remember. I knew you're talking about. Yeah, I knew you're talking.
He was Wanda's brother.
Yes.
So he's that actor is playing Craven, but they don't know who Kurt Russell was. At first, I forgot that they hired this Aaron Taylor guy, and I thought, Kurt Russell, the Craven, awesome.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell was Ego in.
Yeah.
How are they? I suppose 2 different universes. Well.
Okay. Well.
The one thing I did hear.
I could have read it wrong.
One thing I did hear about is, remember Anna Joy Taylor?
Yeah.
She's the one from Queen's Gambit.
Yes.
There's been a huge rumor that she's been cast as the Black Cat, which perfect.
Wow.
Perfect. That would be the perfect choice. I would absolutely see that. And, you know, we talked about this years ago, that they had planned on doing a Black Cat and a Silver Sable movie. And it never came to fruition. They were waiting on their big hit. They got it sort of with Venom. But this money from this last Spider-Man movie is going to open so many doors that would not have been opened without it. It's made like $1.8 billion.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see maybe a standalone Black Cat film. Depending on how Morbius does, I think they'll do the Midnight Sun storyline. Because they have the rights to Ghost Rider, too.
Oh, remember we talked about that? There's the guy who plays Reacher now.
Yeah.
There is his Aquaman.
Yeah.
Like he does it, like he's. I just hope he didn't do anything like take stuff that get built up.
You don't think he did that, do you?
I hope not. I hope it's all because he's big there, right? He just had to work on it.
You don't think he took in steroids, do you?
No, I think he was. Headphones. He was fine.
Yeah, but even in, I remember watching with Titans thinking, that boy is jacked. But
I know.
that would explain. He's going to be Jack Reacher, so he needed to be jacked. Makes sense.
Yeah.
What were you talking about? Oh, Craven. Yeah, Craven.
Yeah.
That's a 5-issue limited series, and I've noticed, and I mentioned this last week, but I might as well mention it on the air, I've noticed Marvel has started doing 5-issue limited series. AWA Upshot does 5-issue limited series, and they sell very well.
About half Image titles do that. They're 4 or 5 issues. They're done.
Yeah.
They move on.
But I remember, I don't know whether it was the guys in charge now, but this was, well, I remember it was maybe less than 5 years ago, where he said that they weren't doing limited series because they didn't sell at all.
They always do limited series.
Oh, Marvel?
Well,
at that point in time, they weren't.
Well, you break down. Usually, isn't comic books always been like 5 or 6 story arcs, and then they move on to something else? But they link them together, but they've always just been 5 arcs, 6 arcs. That's how they get their trades, right?
Yeah, they do. They do it now more than ever since they started putting the trades.
Okay.
I mean, there's certain, like Donny Cates, his series are all just basically trades.
That's so. But to get back to, I don't know if you read this one, number 1, Daredevil, Woman Without Fear. I'm going to pick up the other ones because I want to see where it kind of goes. I'm not super keen into it, but it has piqued my interest.
They're really pushing her in that Daredevil role. You know, I think they're going to bring that character to the MCU at some point.
They're going to bring anybody they can hit with it.
Yeah.
They can swing a dead cat, they're going to put it on screen.
Yeah, true enough.
Oh, look, Howard the Duck. We're going to do him.
Well, I remember reading the first one thinking they're going in the right direction with this series, and when the ending with Craven showed up, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
It's not my file, but I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah, I'm not putting it in the file.
No.
You want to go back and forth?
Yeah, may as well.
All right.
Did you buy the first issue of Sabretooth?
No.
Writer was Victor Laval. Cover was Ryan Stegman. Basically, the setup for this was when they first started the new X-Men series, House of X. Sabretooth was a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he killed somebody, and they tossed him in the pit on Krakoa.
Mm-hmm.
And for 3 years, he disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been any of this new relaunch, the 30 issues they did. This is the beginning of his story and what's been happening and where he's been at. And I don't think it's going to be a redemption story. They tried that in the 90s with Sabretooth. Xavier brought him into the mansion in Westchester, and they put a thing on his head, and Psylocke was giving him the mental boost. I don't think that's going to be it. By the end of it, it seemed like a rising of evil story. Mm-hmm. the last page almost seemed like the beginning of a horror comic, you know, where the guy will say, "You're here now, and I'm going to rip you apart in every way you can imagine."
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, yeah, I'm sold.
You can't have everyone be redeemed.
No, but it just seemed like they were going to turn him back into the badass that he was in the comics, which is good because I don't think he would have fit into the storylines. I said in the last 3 years, everyone was kumbaya. That's the only one thing I vocally said that I don't like about this relaunch is mutants didn't fight with each other.
Yeah.
It was them against humanity.
Yeah.
The cool thing is, and do you remember me saying I read a book called The Hellions?
Yes.
Yeah. So, to finish off that series, there's 2 characters called Nanny and Orphan Maker that they sent into the pit. So there's other people in the pit, and I'm curious and if he comes across these other characters, because they're kind of setting him up as being the Lord of Mutant Hell, which is kind of cool. It's not, it's not Mephisto, but it's like, if there's a mutant hell, he's the Lord of it. There's a lot of really cool shoutbacks too, like as he's dreaming, and he's killing people as he's dreaming, and he kills Iron Fist, and he, all these characters he was first introduced in, of course Wolverine. But it's a really, it was a very psychedelic story, but it was very original. It's not how I thought it was going to go, but I actually liked it better.
Don't
the way
tap
it went.
the desk.
What's that?
Don't tap the desk.
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The other one I got, you've read probably most of the series so far. I missed it and was catching up. But Knighted #1, AWA.
That's good.
So, again, I enjoyed it. AWA seems to be hitting it out of the park with mostly everything they do.
Yep.
Giving it comic books to us men who used to read comic books.
Yep, exactly.
Hopefully there's some women out there that enjoy it too. I'm pretty sure they're not all, wanting the soft monthly stuff or whatever I'm trying to say. But anyways, enjoyed the story. 2 things I marked down. The butler looked like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. He did look a lot, and I was sitting there saying to myself, if they do a series, he'd do it too.
Yeah. The other thing is, since you've read the other books, can you give me a hint of what they talk about the Great Death?
Basically,
is there any more explanation to it later in the books?
It's tied into the Resistance. Remember J. Michael Zarkowski?
Yes, I remember. I didn't read those books, but it's tied into
basically what happened was there was a Great Death about, I want to say like 600 million people died. It was from a virus. And it was... They're building a universe. That's another thing they're doing.
They're not independent books.
No, they're building a universe.
Okay.
And it's kind of cool because they're independent of each other, but they make reference to this Great Death, and that's what it was. It was basically about 600 million people that died.
And then did they come back? Or?
No, they died.
Okay. For some reason I read it sounded like there was a snap, just like the Marvel thing, and they came back. But no, that's cool.
There was a snap, but they're slowly introducing... you can tell.
It wasn't... Okay, the reason I thought it sounded like a snap was because some people did survive,
yes,
but they became enhanced.
Yeah. Some of them, it was basically that, and then the enhanced showed up. But you can tell they have an editor, Axel Alfonso.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody saying, okay, we're going to do this, I'm going to leave you alone to do this, you can do this, but they're keeping an eye on it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised in the next 10 years if this company is a number 2. Mm-hmm. I mean, their books are all good, and there's a big picture there.
Yeah.
So, okay. There is. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to start getting more of those books, even ones I'm not interested in, maybe.
I enjoyed it. It's a good take on it.
There's one called Helltell. Helltell. It's kind of like a hotel, but the letters are blocked out. I haven't read that one, because I'm not a big fan of the horror books and stuff like that. So I
got the first 2 issues of that. I never finished it because... There's only 2 series I haven't enjoyed. That Marjorie one.
Oh, really?
I read the first 4 issues, and I have the rest of it. Maybe I'll enjoy the back end of it. It was an issue.
Yeah, it was Temporal Police. Or
yeah.
That was humorous. I thought it was very funny. I enjoyed it.
I didn't mind it. Garth Ennis. You know what's happening at that AWA upshot? When I see who's doing this stuff, it's where all the old whites are going.
Yeah, no, you said that before. I totally agree.
Yeah, they go. That's where.
Okay.
And if I'm making any fun of anyone, I'm making fun of ourselves.
Yeah, no, you are. That's what you mean by old whites.
Yeah.
It's people that majority of creators and artists who were basically back in the
90s. Steve Epping.
90s, yeah. I'm thinking even older than that, but and where diversity wasn't harped on, but it's accepted. Does that make sense?
Marvel won't hire a lot of them now just because of that fact, which is insane.
I'm sure that if there's an artist, woman or racial, whatever, that it has a good story that lines up with AWA,
yes,
they would have no problem bringing them overboard. But they have a certain style, and that's the way it is. And you don't like it, don't buy the books.
Yeah. There's not too many.
I'll probably say more than actually I need to say because I don't know what's going on. But I'm just trying to tie into the old white guy thing that you said.
Yeah. Well, that's basically it. I mean, a lot of guys have showed up there that I'm thinking, oh, that's what you're doing now. Yeah. So
we've created a place for you to tell the stories that you want.
Yes.
Like they used to be, and not having to worry about emphasis on you've got to have this character and it's got to be this shade, this sex, and whatever. It's just tell a good story with the people you create. If they happen to be this, or this, that's fine. But you don't have to do it. Yeah. We're not forcing you to do it.
I'm going to ask Lee actually when he comes in. I'm curious how the books are selling here. They, for the most part, they're selling out.
Well, I know that you two were talking at one time and how much you really enjoyed them.
Yeah, they're good. Speaking of that, were you...
What? You were next after me. I was done with that.
Okay. Devil's Reign, that's in the same... That Elektra book is in the same vein as this. It's kind of a shoot-off of what's going on. It's a Winter Soldier, though. It was a one-shot. Basically, it featured Winter Soldier and Kingpin, which is cool because I don't think I've ever seen them in a book together. Basically, the storyline is going to lead into they're doing two Captain America series. It's going to lead into Captain America Zero, which I think is going to be the Steve Rogers Captain America series. So this book was twofold. It played into the Devil's Reign crossover, and it also led into that new book. So it had purpose, which is nice because a lot of crossovers usually don't. I loved the Philippe, I want to pronounce his name, Philippe Massaferia cover. And Nico Leon's art suited the storyline well because it was very dark and kind of an Edgar Allan Poe because it took place in the Kingpin's mansion. Yeah. He's got just a bit of brief backstory on Devil's Reign. He has a lot of their secrets. That's how he's fighting this war. He has all their dirty laundry, and Winter Soldier went looking for his dirty laundry, and the Kingpin's a sleepwalker, and he beat the shit out of him. Yeah. So it was a very original story, and it was well written too. Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing told it was a very fleshed out story for being a one shot. Mm-hmm. I was thinking by the end of it, that was a really good one off, and it led into something else. And the Kingpin, even you can tell that what happened in this book is going to affect him in the Devil's Reign. So it hit all the high points it needed to. So I was impressed actually. I was like, I wish all one shot.
I kind of zoned out there for a bit. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
No, I just zoned out. You're talking. I'm kind of, something came. No, it was something popped in my head, and
you had a smile on your face. I was thinking he's in La La Land. I'm just gonna leave him there and keep talking.
All right.
These crossovers for Devil's Reign, the one shots. I have not read one that hasn't been good yet, and that is very surprising.
Remarkable.
Hey Lee. Quick question.
42.
That's correct. Oh my God, how'd you know that?
That's the answer to the universe.
The AWA Upshot stuff. It sells relatively well, eh?
Yeah, like for an independent, it does. It probably sell, some maybe 10, some maybe 7 or 8. It's not major seller.
So would you say it's still behind Image?
Well, some titles yes, but some titles no. Like Spawn, definitely.
Yes.
Some of the bigger ones like Adventure Man, yeah, sure.
Okay. But would you say it's ahead of Valiant?
Crap and edge titles that we sell 2 copies of too. So.
Yeah. What about Valiant? Would you say it's ahead of Valiant?
Oh yeah.
Valiant sucks ass.
Yeah.
Oh, Valiant?
Any Valiant at all.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's-
really?
Yeah, it's crap.
Well, one guy collects Shadow Man, but that's the only one.
Wow. They had such high hope when Bloodshot came out, and then that pandemic just...
I don't know what
sorry,
they're doing.
not the pandemic. Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel killed
It was the
it.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Van Diesel?
Yeah, he's a pandemic Van Diesel.
Yeah. All right, good to know.
Come get you.
It's just, I don't know what the problem with Valiant, and Marvel can do it and DC can do it because they're larger, but they keep
get the
reinventing like fucking characters every fucking 3 months.
They will always be known for Deathmate.
And then the other thing, they've been bought out by another gaming company.
Have they?
So the same thing that happened with the first time when they got bought out by a gaming company.
Acclaim, yeah.
Yeah, they decided to change the books around so they could make video games or shit.
You would
Ruin
think
the fucking books.
with the amount of money on the table now with streaming services, you think they'd get their shit together. So many characters that people would read.
It's because they don't have a direction.
Yeah.
And then now they got even probably somebody has no fucking direction.
Wasn't Dark Horse sold here a few minutes?
Yeah, it was sold to another gaming company.
Yes.
Gaming companies are picking up, and then big companies are buying different gaming companies. Sony bought. Hey, Paul will probably be interested in this. You can maybe talk about it when you go take a shit when we do a record with him. But
Okay.
who bought? Sony bought BioWare, the company who made Halo, which was a big thing on the Xbox exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
That company got bought by Sony. Microsoft bought a company that did a lot of games that were exclusive to PlayStation. So it was like tit for tat. So, Paul, get your fucking pen out and write shit down for that.
Did you
But-
watch the Halo trailer?
That looked pretty cool.
It did, and I had mentioned to Paul, we're talking to him online, I said it looked pretty good. He doesn't have a lot of faith in it because I guess, and that's true, they've shit the bed on a lot of video games when it comes to movies. But I was and I was sitting there saying to myself, I've never played the
Games, yeah.
but I liked what I saw.
Yeah, well, if you have no background,
Yeah.
like the other thing that was different to me, like I played the Halo games a little bit, is that what they done to the Master Chief, I don't know if it's in the game Origins or along the way. So, man, I haven't talked on a mic this long. Usually, I can hit the little button when I'm coughing and shit to mute it, and I can't do it right now.
It's raw, it's live.
It's raw.
Fans love it.
So, She-Hulk #1 is the one I want to talk about next.
Okay.
Another #1 in a long series of #1s, which will, unfortunately, I believe this will, not because the book is not any good, it's going to suffer from the same sort of thing that's happened with She-Hulk. It comes in really high, everybody's excited, everybody's stroking off to it. They're
Speculators?
excited. That too, but it's She-Hulk, and she's coming out with a new TV series, and then it's going to go, and then it's going to get canceled again. So this one again, it takes the humorous look. Seems to work the best for She-Hulk, unless she's in another book where she can be more serious, or whatever. But usually in her books, they take it more lightly.
Yep.
Art was okay. I can't bitch too much because I'm not an artist, but there's still stuff I do like and hate. But this one I can live with. At certain times that was pretty good, and other times it was a little
Storyline like?
She's back to being a lawyer, and she's got a job working somewhere. There's an interesting scene with Titania.
Titania, that's
Titania?
Zorbine's
Yeah, his
girlfriend.
wife. Whatever. When she comes, I'm gonna kick her shit at her. You know, I don't know. I can't remember the reason why, but basically, Jennifer goes, you know, if you just want to go and let off steam and let's just get together once in a while, we'll beat the shit out of each other. Says, I enjoy it. It's fun. And it helps me release bent up stress and energy too. And she's going, really? You do that? Yeah, sure.
Fight Club.
Yeah. So he says, as long as he says, I won't arrest you for any. You want to arrest me for any crimes? She goes, no. That you know of? She goes, no. No, it says this is we get together and we beat the shit out of her for no reason. Why don't we just do it to relieve pressure from each other? And you walk your way, I'll walk my way, which I thought was interesting because
What's Fight Club?
Yeah, so they'll get together once in a while.
Strap-on club, one or the other.
So they'll get together and release tension. And also,
sounds kind of hot.
Yeah, well, you got a big green, hot-looking chick beating the shit out of a big redhead. So why not?
Go back to the bathroom.
So far, the only thing is that Jack or Lana or Jack something, Jack Spade,
Jack of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts shows up at the end.
Yeah,
and was supposed to be dead. Apparently,
he got blown to shit, and I'm actually gonna pull him. I think it was Avengers 499.
Yeah,
it's at the beginning of the Avengers Disassembled series. I think it was 499. He literally, his zombified corpse got blown to shit.
Yeah, so he shows up at the end.
Nice.
So I've added it to my poll. I've always been a fan of She-Hulk. I'm hoping that the
series,
just a series. I don't know how long it'll play for. The story, as long as the story's interesting, I'll stick with it.
Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah, something like it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I know it's Tatiana. I loved her in Orphan Black.
Yeah,
it was really great. And I said to myself, if she can pull off 7 characters, 8 characters, 9 characters, I'm pretty sure I can do one very well.
The series is basically the same sort of background as the book, which is it's a comedy. Lighthearted comedy breaking the fourth wall, because in John Byrne's run on, she broke the fourth wall a lot.
Did Deadpool do that before her, or did she do it after Deadpool?
No, I think she did it before Deadpool.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
You know, I can't swear, but I remember her doing it like.
Deadpool was 92, so if she didn't do it in the first series, she didn't do it.
Well, when was Burns running it?
Black Sabbath in the background.
Yep.
Podcast on high. Yeah, we're back. War Pigs keeps on burning.
Anyway, so you can do your review.
Your review? Okie dokie. This is Thor 21. It's part 3 of the 5-part God of Hammers.
So I pull up the fucking thing to see when he started his run, and one of the questions...
Okay, I guess I'm done.
No, I'm sorry. I just had to say it. People also ask, who did this She-Hulk sleep with? That's a fucking question. Like, they care about who sleep with, and fucking stupid fuckers. Anyways, go on, finish.
She just slept with... Did she sleep with Hawkeye?
Who cares? Yeah. They had a thing for one point.
Yeah, I think so, because she joined the Avengers in issue 221. And I'm not sure. I know she planted a big old kiss on his face. I remember that. I don't know that she slept with him or not. She slept with Crusher Creel. I thought she slept with him.
Yeah.
I thought she fucked the Thing there for a while.
Okay, well, they're pretty close. The release date for the John Byrne run on She-Hulk was in 1992 also.
Okay, so yeah, it was basically they were neck and neck.
Yeah.
I don't know who did it first, but God of Hammers 3 of 5. The writer Donny Cates, artist Nick Klein. I'm surprised this story hasn't been done before, to be honest, but Donny Cates is a pretty good ideas man, especially with an artifact that's been part of Thor for since the beginning, basically. Brutal, bloody issue. They are making this character mean business. We're talking rending of bones, and it was gory. And he fucked up. They showed it. He was like a Terminator. He really messed up. He messed up Odin. He's been killing everyone across the universe. I mean, this is going to be like a Doomsday type character. The twist at the end was nice. I didn't see it coming, to be honest, but it would make sense at the end of it. They're building up to 750. Thor 750, which is in 3 or 4 issues, I think. So I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed Donny Cates' work on this series. When he wants to do a series, he puts everything into it. He's been doing it with Hulk. He did it with Thor. He did it with Venom. Did it with Doctor Strange. I do notice that they stretch his stories a little bit so they can get that extra issue or 2 in. big art balloons, small bit of dialogue sometimes. That's the way it works. Gotta go where the money is. This is the first Thor series I've read in years, and I'm really enjoying it so far.
Oh, good.
So,
I read one recently. Oh, the one I read that I enjoyed was what they showed where there's Thor and his alter ego.
Dr. Banner, yeah.
Not Dr. It's not Banner.
No, sorry, Blake.
Blake something.
Yeah, Donald Blake.
Where he goes when he becomes Thor.
It went fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was a good story.
That was a good story.
I really enjoyed that one.
But again,
I don't know who wrote that, but
again, Donny Cates.
Did he?
That's his run. But again, it's a character that's been around for years, and he did a unique twist on it.
Yeah.
You know,
I really enjoy. That's when Marvel gets interesting, when they take a character that's had, and then all of a sudden they do something interesting other than make them, want to suck dick or something.
Well, they've been came out of left field.
Well, suddenly he's gay after all these years.
That's true. I know what you're saying. They shock for shock value.
Yeah.
But this is it all makes sense for years and years.
I never questioned where he went.
Yeah, whenever he turned into Thor, you were thinking, okay, Don Blake's gone. Where's he gone?
I didn't even think that. I essentially just transformed like Banner into the Hulk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But
so
no, he went to a place where he slowly went mad.
Yeah.
It makes sense. That's a good character. I mean, that's one thing he's done. That's the third original character he has created in that series. Don Blake is that guy. Black Winter, which was in the first storyline that went 7 issues, and now Mew.
Meow meow.
So that's 3 first appearances with guys like that. Will be selling the comics for quite a bit.
I've got a question for you. One of the things I've always wanted to see was an old obscure characters, because they never die, right? And you can bring them forward. Is an obscure character was people just were such a joke that they've turned him to it's like in the book itself, the character realizes that he's a joke, and he says, "You know what? I'm done buying a fucking joke," and he goes fucking nuts. He starts killing people or whatever, just goes off the deep end. Not crazy, but just saying, "You think I'm a joke? Not anymore."
Do you remember Frogman?
The only Frogman I remember is the Thor frog. That's the only one I know.
No, that was Throg.
Okay.
Which, again, he brought Throg back, which was a fucking cool storyline. But Frogman, he had that costume on. He could see out of the mouth.
Yeah.
Christopher Cantwell has brought him back in Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
He put together, without saying too much about the storyline, he couldn't use the Avengers, so he had to put together this motley crew of superheroes. Gargoyle from the Defenders, Hellcat, War Machine, and he picked Frogman. And what you're talking about, they're kind of exploring that, where he's like, I can't hold my own with these people. I'm not mean enough. I'm not scary enough. And they're leading down that road. So if you are interested in that storyline, they're kind of doing it now in Iron Man. Which, by the way, Christopher Cantwell, I read his work on Doctor Doom. The writers that they have on the Marvel titles now, you said that I've moved more into Marvel.
Yeah.
It's because a lot of their A-list writers are on their titles now. Christopher Cantwell is fantastic.
Just their art section blows?
What's that?
Just their art section blows?
No, they've actually been putting decent artists on it
back
too.
on finally?
A few of them.
Yeah.
I've read enough Marvel now that I know, like Lee Williams, I'll never read her shit again. I'll never read it. I will never read it. If I do, it'll be like 50% off. But after that, that 5-issue Trial of Magneto, which was just shit on a popsicle stick.
Yeah.
The 5th issue redeemed it a bit.
Yeah.
But, Captain America, anyway, it was like soap opera language, and it was supposed to be a serious. It was really weird, and anyone who read it, I read the reviews. I said maybe I'm just overlooking this too much. Every review I read said, yeah, that was really weird. They tried to put 90210 and Friends dialogue into an Avengers X-Men story. It was bizarre, but yeah.
Where are we at? You just got done Thor?
We're not here, man. Yeah, I got telepass, but I mean, I just, other than saying I didn't have a chance to write the review.
Oh, wow.
Issue 5. Again, it's written by J. Michael Zaraski.
Oh, sure, fine with me.
Ratberger.
Yeah.
He's writing it, and it's very detailed. It's very good. It's basically telepaths. Same idea. And it's like that thing. Something shows up on Earth.
AWA again, right?
Yeah, AWA.
Yeah.
Something shows up on Earth, and all of a sudden, people can read people's minds. And it's kind of cool because he's one of those writers that he's so in depth that what would the fallout be?
Yeah.
This person's thinking this about you. You know, you're with your buddy, and you realize you're reading his mind. I hope he doesn't realize I fucked his wife last night. Just stuff like that. There's some really cool interaction, and you know, it's the beginning of a superhero storyline. Only it's humans realizing what they're capable of, and the really dark shit they're capable of. It's cool. I like it.
The last one I got is a Zenescope book, and it's not tits and ass. I know.
Then it's not Zenescope.
It's actually a story where it's only 3 issues, but it's about cleaners. They go up and clean after this group.
Yeah, cleaners.
They kill the clean up the bodies. Yeah. And what they are, they're monster cleaners. There's a group, an association that go in and they take care of zombies and vampires and stuff like that.
Kind of like damage control.
And and then this 2 guy, an older guy and a young kid, come in and they clean up all the mess. And in this story arc, this 3-issue book, the story is basically they come across a vampire, a woman who's just at the verge of being turned. So she's just got turned. So within the folklore that if you find the original vampire that turned her and killed her, you can cure her. And the old guy is basically straightforward, and this is what we do. And the kid wants to see, we can save her if we find the kid. Because the kid looks up to these group of the mercenaries or whatever you want that do the job, and he wants to be one. But she says, but we can, if we find her, the person that turned her, we can save her.
Okay.
And then he, oh fuck, let's just put a bullet in her. But something happens where where the old guy says, okay, grab her, let's go. And then the next 2 books will be probably them trying to find the vampire that turned her, but also now being chased by the group that's job is to kill monsters.
Okay, so it's one of those wrong place, wrong time type things.
Well, yeah. I mean, they were especially just to clean. They forgot to check the closet. And if they had checked the closet and wiped her out, then there wouldn't be any concern. But they forgot to check the closet, so she's still alive. And this guy knows you can save her if we do it. And, I mean, the old guy must have some military training in him because he takes to get the shit. And then he cuts the one guy's, big tough guy's hand off with a big knife.
Nice.
So, but I'm so glad to see Zenescope. Huh?
Is it down on the rack?
No, I had to order it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
No.
I read the copy just to see if it's
It is
instead of the
like
lusty and musty.
I'm still I'm thinking about getting on my pull the Robin Hood Zenescope stories. Ever when Pat Shan was doing them, I really enjoyed those books, and I still enjoy them.
Yeah.
But they're not a long series of books. There's like 2 or 3, and they stop for a while, and then they come back. But most of the Zenescope stuff, I'm not to it because I understand what they're doing. I do like the idea that the leads are usually women who are heroic, they're strong, they're independent, but they always got them dressed like I got my tits out and let's fight. Where in a normal universe
You can't do that. I've done it before, John.
with your tits out.
With my tits out.
Oh, okay.
They
But
get scratched.
they're always wearing the sexy boots and showing skin. In a real battle, they wouldn't have that shit.
They did Marvel in the 80s.
Yeah. They would actually be dressed prepared for battle.
I know.
But and as much as I am pro tits, but pro pussy, but I enjoy strong, and that's why I like a lot of the Marvel female lead characters.
Yes.
If I do it or books, I just don't. Zenescope has to evolve and get away from doing those books all the time, or at least, I mean, with Robin Hood, she actually the only part on her that's really exposed is her midriff.
Yeah.
So she's prepared, right? Some of the other ones, maybe Van Helsing, that character too. But they still have a tendency to come up with the swimsuit issue every once in a while.
Remember the Bond girl I was telling you about in
Yeah.
No Time to Die? Same idea. Sexy woman, beautiful dress, and she kicked the shit out of everyone and killed as many people as she could. That's what they need. It's okay to be sexy, but the whole...
But in that scenario, she was at a party where she
Yes.
needed to dress like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Some of the stethoscope shit, they're not at a party dressed for the... They're just walking around like normal thing.
Yeah.
So I do like... I mean, I remember one time I talked about... I was reading a Robin Hood book, and she's trying to be discreet, but she's walking around New York dressed as Robin Hood with a big fucking bow on her back.
Yeah.
They need someone to go, no.
This makes no sense.
This makes no
Yeah.
sense. But it's only 3 issues, which is not a short run.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad to see they're doing something different.
That's good.
And
Image did that. Remember, Image did that in the 2000s? They were all... It made no sense up until 2000. They said, wait a minute, we're not making any money. We need to try something new. And they did.
So. But, so yeah. There we go. So we didn't have a chance to do this at all. I think we did it once.
We haven't
or
done
twice.
this in a while, and I'm telling you, everyone's saying this. I'll just say a quick segue. Whenever someone passes away now, everyone says, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! I can't believe it! They're like 97 years old.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they're dead." So I just want to reassure people that I'll be doing this once a month, probably.
So you can go. They're alive. They're alive.
There's some of them are still alive, and February 9th today. Celebrating a birthday is Joe Pesci, 79 years of age. I go through the drive-thru and they fuck me at the drive-thru. Mia Farrow, age 77.
Yeah.
Bit of anger issues there.
Mm-hmm.
Singer Carole King turns...
You forgot Judith Light.
Oh, I did. I didn't. Judith Light turns 73.
Mm-hmm.
She still looks great.
Yeah.
She still looks great. Carole King turns 80. February 10th, Robert Wagner turns 91 years of age.
I didn't think he was that old. I knew he was still alive.
That
But
deal with the devil is doing him wonders. Look, don't arrest me, and I want to live to be 100. Roberta Flack turns 84. She was in Michael Jackson's Bad. I guess she did some of the backing vocals, or was in the video or something. February 11th, you may remember this person. I didn't. Conrad Janis from Mork and Mindy.
He's the music store owner. Yes.
93 years
Wow.
of age.
Cool for him.
Yeah, cool for him. Tina Louise, Ginger from Gilligan's Island, 87 years of age.
Fuck, she's the only one alive still.
Yeah, 87. It's a good
Wow.
run. February 12th, Michael Ironside turns 72. With a name like that, he's going to be 104, and he's just not going to give it up.
I do have a little story about Arsenio Hall here that popped in my head.
Arsenio Hall turns 66. What's your story?
Well, I don't know if you've seen this on YouTube, but it's on there. When he had his talk show on, he was doing a talk show, and 2 of these gay activists got up and started yelling at him about why don't you have more gay people on there?
Yeah.
And he went at them, and it was just, this isn't Merv, this is my show, and he went at him, and he made a really good point. He says, "How do you know I haven't had gay people on here? There's people that I know that are gay. They don't want people to know. They don't want to come out. So I don't tell people that they're gay." But that's basically the gist of it, right? It says, now, I'm going to use Elton John, but I don't think it was Elton John. But he said, no, Elton John, if he wants to come on my show and he's gay, I'll have him on my show. But I don't have anything to talk to him about or with.
Yeah.
He has nothing. So why do I have to have him on my show? Simply because he's already gay?
Yeah.
But he went after these guys, and I loved it because he says, just because they don't come out so that you can feel good about yourself doesn't mean that they're not gay.
Yeah, I know. There was a different time back then. I remember Bill Maher. You may have saw this episode. Assholes in the audience. He said, "Get the fuck out." He literally walked down the aisle, "Get the fuck out," throw them out, and I've never seen it happen since.
Yeah.
He must have said, "I want you to beat them. Take them down the long alleyway and beat the hell out of them on the way out." I see him saying that.
But
too.
I really liked that because it's just because someone
that was it.
They wanted redemption for themselves. That was all. Not to have see more. Oh, we got more gay people there. They wanted to feel good about themselves, so they can have someone gay on the show.
But
to
today,
identify with.
they would go on the internet, and within 2 weeks, they would be a household name. They'd have 70,000 followers, and it would launch.
And I agree with what you did. He doesn't have gay people on there. I didn't see them. They didn't say they're gay, so they're not gay.
They weren't there.
Fuck.
February 3rd, Stalker Channing turns 78 years of age. February 13th also, Jerry Springer turns 78 again. I made this deal. I'm going to live to be 100, and I'm going to do all this terrible stuff, okay? Then you can have me. Jerry Springer.
Yeah. Peter Gabriel, he was from...
72. He was
he was
Sledgehammer?
Genesis.
Genesis, yeah. He's in Genesis.
Okay, I'm thinking Robert Palmer is the one that I was thinking of.
Yes.
He's passed away.
Yeah, he did. He died
a few years
quite
ago.
young.
Yeah.
Teller from Penn and Teller, that's the silent one, turns 74. Pat O'Brien turns 74 also. I think I've told this story before. Remember fucking Ben Affleck? They had him in the story?
I think so.
You can tell he's fucking Ben Affleck.
Jane Seymour. She looks
February
good
the
for her
15th. She's 71, and she still looks so beautiful, you know. And Matt Groening turns 68. Forever he will be the Simpsons. Actually, I was listening to this is kind of a quick segue. It was a Indian comedian who was on Joe Rogan the other day. I listened to him.
You still listen to Joe Rogan? Dear God.
Please, I have a wife and family. No, but he was on there. He was saying, you know what, Apu. He was talking about this is an East Indian man. He said, I never thought of Apu as an insult. He was one of the few functional characters on there. Like Moe was a loser, Barney was a drunk, Homer was a fuck up. He got married. He had kids. He owned a business. He owned another business. He had an actual storyline.
And looked after his family.
And they have I didn't know this. They took the character off the show completely.
Yeah.
They've gotten rid of the
It's
character.
because someone
Yeah.
with a stick up their ass, like Peter Dink.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear him talk about it. He's like, because he has a bit he does in his comedy act about don't get rid of Apu.
Yeah.
He said, I never found him insulting because he was living the American dream.
Yeah.
He came over there, he ran a store, he raised a family on it. He's like,
Oh,
I
they
don't
don't
get it.
see that part. Those people don't see that part. Oh, geez, those people, I'm going to get kicked off the air. Those people don't see that. All they see is that fucking blinder on that he speaks this way, he looks that way, he's working in a convenient, which is a stereotype, because those are the people that will take those jobs and work hard at those jobs to make sure that they have support to themselves and their family.
Yeah.
They're not like the white fuckers who will sit there and not work because they're not getting $30 an hour.
I used to work in a depot, in a Viro depot for a year. It was interesting. I got a hell of a throwing arm from it. Like, seriously, you know those bags you set up in there? You could whip the cans of apple juice.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I could just do it. Like I remember saying to my girlfriend at the time, I should try for rugby or something. I got a pretty fucking good arm on me. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
sorry.
it.
Let me do this then.
I kind of rambled off with that.
Well, we got off on poo.
A boot.
All right.
This was actually a decent show for the first one back. I thought we'd be a little bit of scribbly-dibbly at the beginning, but other than that,
you
it
had
wasn't
shit
bad.
in your mouth for a while.
I did. I was eating shit.
So,
I
speaking
gotta bring
words
a
like
pillow
I
next
do.
week. I gotta bring a
Speaking the
pillow next
English like I do.
So, folks, we're going to be back.
Well, we'll be our next recording session is the 19th with Paul.
Who's Paul?
That fucker from England.
Oh.
So we'll be back then. I forgot to... I don't know if that thing was still there. Remember I told you about those books that we can give away free books?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to tell her that we'll do it. So, but I'm gonna whore out the cafe blog,
Okay.
popculturecafe.com, because at the top of the thing you'll notice there's a lot of... I haven't done a lot of work, so everything on there is usually what's coming to Netflix. I'm trying to add some more stuff as I can, but if you go to the top of the page, right beside the date, there's a thing that says the Pop Culture Cafe store. If you click on that link, it takes to a page that says, you'll see the big picture of the Pop Culture Cafe. And then click on that, then it takes you to a section where there's hats, drinks, t-shirts for men and women available. There'll be more stuff coming. So if you want a t-shirt of the show or some other t-shirts I put up there, click on there and you can get yourself some goodies. So I think that I'll be whoring that on the TPCCafe _EH, letting people know I'm up there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this going right. I haven't done that in a while. Or is that the end? That's not
Looking
the
at the
end,
head of
right?
his penis is just a weird thing to do during a podcast, but I'm not going to stop him.
I don't think that's the end of the show. There's full... Where the fuck did it go?
What are you looking for? I'm glad we're off the air and no one's hearing
No
this.
one's hearing anything.
So remember, if you're a nerd, geek, dweeb, or whatever you call yourself in this lifestyle, the geek nerd
I haven't
lifestyle
used this one in
makes
a
getting
long
through
time.
the date bearable. When people don't understand, fuck them. Remember, at the end of your days,
No, we're still live, 'cause I
lying in
wanna
your
see what
bed
this was.
and look back at your life
Okay.
in this pop culture world that you love made you happy. That's all that matters.
You sound
Ladies and
very
gentlemen,
deep.
my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
That's all, folks.
Thank you. Come again.
I must have cut out the first part. Okay, folks. Ciao, folks.
Bye.